What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and today we are going to be going over the top 10 best coupes that you can buy for under 3K. Really quickly, guys, if my voice sounds a little weird today, sounds a little nasally, I'm sick. I got a little bit of a stuffy nose going on, so put your masks on and take your vaccines or whatever they do nowadays to not get sick. And sorry if my voice sounds weird. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video with number 10. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to the Scion TC first generation. Now, you actually can find the second generation TCs for under like 5K, but it's going to be very hard for you to find them under 3K. So we're going to go with the first gen for today. And to be honest with you, they're not that fast. Not that fast at all, as a matter of fact. And they don't have the coolest of motors. It's a Camry motor. It's a 2.4 liter inline 4 that makes 160 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. This is the part where I would say, well, it can be tuned to be a lot faster. But once again, it really can't. It doesn't have the most aftermarket support for engine mods. But the thing is, with the Scion TC, I don't think that you should buy a Scion TC expecting to be the fastest guy out there. It just looks pretty good. It's reliable as hell because it's a Toyota. It's going to get you to where you want to go and back on time, but it's going to do it in style, and it's still going to be a little bit of fun. That's what makes the TC so great. Coming in at number 9 is going to a car that is questionable, gets a lot of hate. I don't think it deserves all the hate, but I do think it definitely deserves some of the hate, and it is the Hyundai Tiburon. This is slightly faster than the Scion TC, but it's also slightly more unreliable than the Scion TC, so kind of pick your poison there. If you're choosing reliability over speed, then I would recommend going with the Scion TC, but if you're choosing speed over reliability, I'd go with the Hyundai Tiburon. This thing comes with a 2.7 liter V6 that makes 172 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Once again, it doesn't have as much aftermarket support as other cars out there, and the engine is not the best to build up for performance wise, but it's pretty much, like I said, it's exactly like the Scion TC. It looks very good. By the way, that was me dropping something, my bad. It looks very good. It's a coupe that's going to get you to where you want to be on time for really cheap and do it pretty reliably. Coming in at number 8 is going to the car that's going to make East Coast Ken so happy to finally see. It is a Chevy Cavalier Z24, buddy. I see you commenting every day, East Coast Ken. Every day I see you commenting, where's the Chevy Cavalier? This would have been a great list for the Chevy Cavalier. Well, here it is, all right? It's a freaking Chevy Cavalier Z24. This thing comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4, making 150 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Once again, just like the last two, it is not the fastest stock, but it has a significantly better engine to make power on than the last two. It isn't as reliable as the Scion, but it's definitely not bad either. I mean, it's pretty hard to make an inline 4 unreliable, to be honest, so almost any of them are going to be pretty reliable. And it can look good, but this is also one of the easiest cars to make look bad. I've seen so many bad looking Cavaliers, so just be careful when modifying it. But yeah, this thing is more for the guy that's going for something that's going to be like a street type of build, because the engine in it can make decent power. Number 7 is yet again going to the guy that's looking for a street level build with the Honda Prelude 4th generation. It's starting to look like a trend. These cheap coupes are, underpowered, front wheel drive, little old 2000s car, but it's a freaking Prelude, man. Like in the 4th gen, oh my god. It comes with a 2.3 liter inline 4, making 160 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. This is a Honda, however, so it's reliable as hell and can make good power, which is always a wonderful combination. In my opinion, the Prelude 4th gen is the best looking Prelude as well. The only problem with the 4th generation Preludes is it's going to be hard to find it under 3K that's actually worth it, and it's not like just been modified into the ground by some 15-year-old kid. So just be careful when going to look at them. But besides that, everything about the Prelude 4th gen, good coupe under 3K. Coming in at number 6 is going to the Toyota Celica GT 6th generation. I actually just did a whole deep dive all about the Toyota Celica line of cars, and I love them now, especially the 6th gen with those little spider eyes in the front. The spider eyes make me a happy puppy. So this is going to so far be the slowest of the bunch, but it does have rally heritage to it, so it can be an absolute blast. They come with a 2.2 liter inline 4, making 135 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. These are so easy to make look good, but they're also so easy to make look horrible. So just be smart when modifying your 6th gen Celica, and you should be all right. In my opinion, the Celica line in general is just a super underrated line of cars. Just lower it, add some nice wheels, stiffen up the suspension a little bit, and make it just a rally monster. And yes, I know it sounds weird saying lower it because to make it a rally car, but I don't mean like slam it on the ground. I mean lower it as in stiffen up the suspension. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to a car that I actually put as number 1 for my worst first cars list, and I stand by that because it's still not a good first car, but it is the Mazda RX-8. Once again, this is obviously not for the kind of guy who's new to cars, for sure. Even if this is like your third car, if it's your first car that you're actually going to be working on, be honest with yourself because it's going to save you. This thing comes with a 1.3 liter, 2-rotor rotary engine making 212 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Obviously, it sounds like a must-have because it's rear-wheel drive with decent horsepower. It looks pretty cool. It's a freaking RX-8. Like, that sounds sick, but it is sadly very unreliable because of the rotary engine. Now, obviously, I know you rotary guys are going to comment down below, well, it's not unreliable. It's because people don't know how to maintain them. Yes, I know, but that kind of makes it unreliable. If a car, you have to do like extra steps to keep it running, that's an unreliable car, man. Coming in at number 4 is going to the only car on this whole list, actually, with not only a turbocharger on it, but it's also the only German car on this whole list. That's actually wild. I didn't even realize that it was German, but it's the Audi TT first generation. But I didn't know that I didn't realize it's the only German car. But here it is, buddy. This thing comes with a 1.8 liter turbocharged inline-4, making 180 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. The 1.8T is a very good motor to build. It's a very good motor to have fun with, but it's not that reliable, so definitely be a little bit careful. And a front-wheel drive Audi always just does kind of hurt no matter what you put behind it, but they are a very fun car to drive nonetheless. I just wish it could have been all-wheel drive. I mean, there is all-wheel drive Audi TT first gens, but not for under 3K. In my opinion, the TT has very questionable looks as well. I think it looks okay. Some people absolutely hate it. Some people absolutely love it. That's obviously up to you. But overall, it is a good car for under 3K. Coming in at the 3rd place is going to a car that I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying. It is the Ford Mustang New Edge. Notice that I did not say GT there because we are not talking about the GT models. Sadly, you most likely aren't going to be able to find a New Edge GT Mustang for under 3K. But either way, this one comes with a 3.8 liter V6 making 190 horsepower, and it is rear wheel drive. And it really is just an all-around good car unless you really care about what other people think of you. If you do care about what other people think, probably not a good idea because you're going to be roasted since it is a V6 Mustang. But I mean, it's so much fun for so cheap that, in my opinion, it's who cares? Like, it's rear wheel drive with decent horsepower. The engine's decently reliable. It doesn't have the best power out there, but it's got 190, and that's not like super bad. It's obviously not that good to build either because it isn't a V8, but still, it's a good car. Coming in at 2nd place is actually going to a car that I just bought. And a bunch of you guys are probably like, wow, he said he was going to be building this thing and I haven't seen a single video on it. But it is the Acura Integra LS. I got mine for literally exactly $3,000 with only 140,000 miles. It sounds like a lot, I know, but it's a Honda. And it was bone stock and no problems with it. And it's freaking, I love them. I love it so much. They come with a 1.8 liter inline-4, making 142 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. Has a reliable as all hell motor, but the motor is not fast stock. I want to say that very clearly. It's a fun car. I drive mine, and I have a very good time driving it, but it's not, if you're looking for like fun in a straight line, that is not the car to do it on. It can be tuned to be much quicker because it is a B-Series Acura motor or Honda motor, so obviously that's amazing, and it does look really good, and it can look even better in my opinion, and it's great on gas. But the big downside, there is one major downside, is the size. It's a small car, and I'm 6'1" actually, and it's hard to fit in it sometimes. The honorable mention for today, baby. That's right, there's technically 11. What? I know, I took you for a loop. It is the Mitsubishi Eclipse GT 4th generation. This absolute puppy comes with a 3.8 liter V6 making 260 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Obviously that is a huge power number for under $3,000, but the car does have its downsides. One is that it's not that reliable. 2 is that it can't really make that much more power than the 260 that it comes with. And 3 is it really doesn't have like any aftermarket support. I do think it kind of looks pretty unique, but some people would disagree on that too. But of course, first place is going to, in my opinion, the best coupe for under $3,000, and it is the Infiniti G35 Coupe. Now, I want to make this incredibly, ridiculously, abundantly, monotonously clear that this is not going to be easy to find under $3,000, but it can be done. Up here, I live in the freaking New England area, and I see G35 Coupes right around the 3K mark quite frequently, and they're really worth it. They come with a 3.5 liter V6 making 287 horsepower, and they are rear wheel drive. To be honest, I'm still so surprised to think that it still is under $3,000 for what you get. You get a rear-wheel drive, high horsepower, good-looking coupe with a reliable engine that can even make a little bit more horsepower if you get bored of it, and all the luxuries of that the 2000s has the offer in it. It's amazing. It also has tons of aftermarket support, and take it from me, these cars are an absolute blast. I have a 350Z, and my 350Z is pretty much just a lighter G35 Coupe, and it's so much fun to drive. Get one now, though, before they're overpriced, because they're definitely raising in price fast. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. I'm going to end this video really quickly because my nose is stuffing up again, and I just want to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just want to skedaddle. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Like I said before, the Integra build, I know you guys are asking about it. It's coming. Just waiting for that one part. And then once the one part gets here, I'm golden. I'm ready to start building it. But either way, though, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania. Have a nice night.